So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14. This is called the system of universal management. Now, universal management, if you recollect in the last chapter, what we had done was there are going to be future Manus. So we had done a certain amount of the structure of how Manus are going to be replaced one after the other. There was one thing which I left you all with, and that was a very interesting twist, but nobody came back with a question. Only I think one person who later on asked me, "What are you saying? I don't understand." Okay, I will give you the backdrop of that thing. I said that in the future, what happens is now in the previous yuga, there is Jamdangini, Atriya, and so on and so forth. They had given. And in the next one, it is mentioned that Parshuram and all these people are going to be the Sapta Rishis. You know, the Rishis which are connected. So you will want to know exactly how is it that they get replaced with somebody else. So I said, you also stand a chance. The reason is very simple. It is, we consider ourselves as human beings. I'm with a name and designate, you know, like I am born in XYZ place. My name is so and so. We believe that we are like that. But actually we are not the body. Nobody is a body. Body is like a container. It's like, think about it. Is Coke the container? No. Coke is not the bottle. The bottle is the container for that liquid, which is called the Coke. This much you understand? Let us say, even if I buy a particular kind of say biscuits, or maybe I buy some sort of food grains. Now the food grains are packed in some plastic. All right. So the plastic cannot say that it is the food grain. Food grain is different than the plastic. Got it? So exactly like that. So we are packed in this body which is called the container. But the idea is, who am I? The biggest question which everybody has to ask. You know, who am I? That is a question which was, I said, Nisargadatta Maharaj had said, you know, you have to ask yourself. So the moment you come to know, that is called realization. You realize who you are. The moment you realize who you are, you understand that you are an amsh, a part or a portion of a particular entity. So how do you know who you are? So the lineage continues. So maybe the next body that you get might be the Saptarishis body. You don't know that. So it's very important that you should try to find out. But that is what the main reason why we are doing spiritual stuff is, because you should get an understanding of this. So never count yourself as the body. Body is just a container. The container can be in various shapes, sizes, colors, you name it. It can be of any kind. It will have its own lid. It will have its own, labels and so on and so forth. It can have quantities in different forms. Like, say for example, you get a 1 liter bottle, you get a half liter bottle, you get a quarter liter bottle, like that. So does not mean that you are in that bottle, that 1 liter, the quarter liter and all are associated with you. No. That is also different. So what does it quarter liter and all mean? It means you have a family. You have your mother, brother, father, sister, husband, wife, whoever it might be, children, grandchildren, whatnot. All these are nothing but bottles that you see. Are they coming from the same place? We have no idea. So that is the reason why it's very important to find out, who am I? The question is extremely important. So now, this is where I ended. So I said to you that you also have a chance. So now I hope you understand that you really don't know who you are. So if you come to know who you are, naturally you stand a very good chance of becoming the next Indra, for all you know. How do you know that? So let us keep the options open. All right. So now we are doing the next chapter, chapter 14, the system of universal management. Maharaj Parikshit inquired, O most opulent Shukdev Goswami, please explain to me how Manu and others in each Manvantara are engaged in their respective duties, and by whose order are they so engaged? Everybody is supposed to be engaged in their own duties. So what are the duties that are there? So the duties that have been assigned to you with this particular body of yours, you have come with that duty. Now think about it like this. There is a bottle of liquid. Okay. Now the liquid could be a particular kind. All right. Now it says water. On top of it is written water. Now that water has a specific use. Now you ask me, if there is water inside that bottle, what is the use of that water? So if I say to you, it contains water, H2O, which is what is inside, what are the uses? So you may say, oh, it can be used for drinking. Other person will say, no, no, I will use it for cooking. Third person will say, no, no, I will use it for watering plants. Fourth person will say, no, none of you understand. It is distilled water. Okay. So I am going to use it in my engines. Okay. You know, earlier on we used to have those batteries where we used to put distilled water. Nowadays you don't get those kind of things. It's a closed system. And especially after yesterday, so I don't think we'll have to buy those kind of batteries anytime. Elon Musk has come out with those new batteries, you know, for household purposes and all that. He's going to replace the whole world batteries. So, yes. So coming back to this, so what is the use? That is the duty associated with this, the thing that is inside. Got it? Imagine very, you know, maybe more than 100 years ago, somebody had bottled a drink. Okay. And he used to go from village to village, and any person who has dyspepsia, you know what is dyspepsia? Gas problems. It's called dyspepsia. So he used to sell this liquid which he had concocted to people. Now do you get the name from that? Dyspepsia. Right? So Pepsi came into the picture. So Pepsi was supposed to be a drink meant for the purpose of removing your gas. All right. And that is how Pepsi was born. It was like a aushadhi. So that you could take it and remove the gas from your system. But today, what do we use it for? It's a fun drink. People drink it for fun purposes. So it doesn't matter really. But the job is what everybody has come up with. So we all are given a specific body for a purpose, so that we have specific jobs to perform, which is basically what we say as the duty. In other terminology, it is called swadharma. Swadharma. What is the dharma that you are come in this world for? Got it? Sukdev Goswami said, the Manus, the son of Manu, the great sages, the Indras, the demigods, O king, are appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations, such as Yajna. O king, I have already described to you various incarnations of the Lord, such as Yajna. The Manus and others are chosen by these incarnations, under whose direction they conduct the universal affair. Now you understand, is chosen. You have a choice. Okay, like maybe you're standing over there in queue, and you have, the moment your number comes, okay, now which garment are you interested in wearing? Okay, that one, go in that. You know, when you stand outside an airport in a queue, and there are people who are directing you to the taxis, and there may be 10 stands over there, you know, and then the person says, sir, you go to taxi number 3, and you say taxi number 4, like that. Okay, so now do you understand? So you have a choice. So basically these are roles which are for the purpose of enactment, and the moment you are out of that and you want to come into this world, you have the choice of taking in those things. They conduct the universal affairs. At the end of every 4 yugas, the great saintly persons, upon seeing that the eternal occupational duties of mankind have been misused, re-establish the principle of religion. Religion deteriorates over a period of time. This you should understand. It takes 4 yugas for deterioration. So first yuga, the religion is extremely powerful. That is why, if you recollect, I had told you all the story of the cow, and later on the bull. Okay, the bull is standing on 4 feet. So in the first yuga he is standing on 4 feet. In the second yuga he is standing on 3 feet. In the third yuga he is standing on 2 feet. And in the last yuga, nothing. So basically he's got 1 feet, that too he doesn't know whether he is there or no. So what it means is the religion, which is called the bull, is destroyed by the end of the 4th yuga. And once the yuga sets in, you will find that irreligious activities have started happening in this world. Irreligion. Religious activities have been completely destroyed. Just a few days ago, I had just seeing an article in done by the Pew Research, about religions in this world. It was talking about the different kinds of religions that are going to be there existing in the next 20 years from now. By 2050, India will have the largest Muslim population in the world. That is what was mentioned over there. So the number one religion, which is today Christianity, will be replaced by Islam, which is going to be the largest religion in the world. And the largest place where Islam will be practiced will be India. And number two will be Indonesia. So now you understand how this whole thing is going to work. So religion, but what is it in the religion that we are taking in today? Are we taking the goodness out of it, or are we leaning towards that which we distort for our own purposes? You can twist the religion to our own purposes. You will find that, say for example, in India, India has not signed a treaty where a woman is given equal rights in marriage. Okay, this is something where India is refusing to sign. There are a large number of countries where it is. What is the law? The law is this. It says that a woman can refuse sex after when she is married to the person, okay, to her husband. She can refuse. Now laws have been enacted in countries like Indonesia also, by the way. Indonesia, Malaysia, United States and many other countries, even in Europe, where a woman can definitely refuse her husband. But 2 days ago, our country said that no, we are a different culture, we are a different religion, we are a different sect. We will not allow that. So women will never have equality in India. This is what had come in the news, and that is very wrong, because as per the religious principles, they have to be given equal rights. A woman can definitely do what she wants to do, but it is not so. So now you understand how irreligion comes into the picture. You are twisting the same rules to your own benefit, which is wrong. And this is going to happen in the 4th yuga. Already we are 2000 years into the 4th yuga. Not 2000, we are 6000 years into this yuga. Alright? So the principle of religion will get destroyed. So what happens? After the end of the 4 yuga, everything comes to a standstill once again, and then again re-establishment happens in the next four rounds. Thereafter, O king, the Manus, being fully engaged according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, directly re-establish the principles of occupational duties in its full 4 parts. Occupational duties, I told you, that is your Swadharma. A Swadharma is always connected to our whichever womb that we have taken. Now it means very simply this: the principle of what is called as the Brahmana, Kshatriyas, the Varnas that are there, we are all going to get associated back again into the Varna system. Now Varna is again distorted, like I told you, religion becomes irreligion very soon. So the distortion of the Varna system has already happened. People think that they come from Shudra class, whereas they are not. A person may be a minister, he is not a Shudra. I'm sorry, he is not a Shudra from any point of view. He's got enough money, he's got enough status, he's got hundreds of people following him. So now you understand. So To enjoy the result of the sacrifices, Yagyas, the rulers of the world, namely the sons and the grandsons of Manu, discharge the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead until the end of the Manu's reign. The demigods also share the results of these sacrifices. Indra, the king of heaven, receiving benedictions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus enjoying highly developed opulences, maintains the living entities all over the three worlds by pouring sufficient rain on all the planets. Okay, now Indra's reign comes to an end at the end of the Yuga, correct? In the previous Yuga, Kali Yuga. What happens over there? Now think about it like this. Exactly what we are hoping should not happen happens. Just a few days ago I had posted Alaska, Greenland, Alaska, the top belt of Arctic. There was a picture which was taken which talked about the entire ice belt over there was reduced to 32% of what it was in 2012. And the land mass had gone, the mass of that ice block had gone right inside. So the ice flow has become pretty small. So you will find that now what is happening is there's a lot of heat, ice is melting. You've seen the Nepal tragedy where the entire mountain came down. Okay, the earthquake happened. But the reversal starts happening by the end of the Yuga. Because there is so much of disturbance in the field, in this universe, the entire thing which is called the ice age takes over. And everything gets buried and covered by means of ice alone. So this is what happens. Alright. So at that time, the god of rain, which is called Indra, rain stops. Now in where you are staying also, there you will find that there is a big chunk of snow and hails and so on and so forth happening. The whole place is getting inundated with it, and now the weather has started behaving in a completely different manner. Now imagine if there is the weather changes to such an extent, it will become extremely difficult to stay. Look at California. Today everything has become completely dry. There's nothing in the rivers, the waters, there's nothing over there. So you will find that these kind of extreme conditions will exist now. So because Indra Dev is giving rain at wrong places and giving more rain at some places and less rain in some places. So he is in charge of that. In every Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, assumes the forms of Siddhas, such as Sanaka, to preach transcendental knowledge. He assumes the form of great saintly persons such as Yajnavalkya to teach the way of karma. And he assumes the form of great yogis such as Dattatreya to teach the system of mystic yoga. So in every yuga, what does the Krishna do? He takes different forms, and the forms are so continuous, like it is impossible for you to actually pinpoint the form. The reason is very simple, because in some form he comes as a teacher. You will find that is how, as Sanaka. I told you Sanaka, Sanatana, these are the four sons of Brahmaji. Later on he can take a form of Dattatreya also. Dattatreya is called the Supreme Master, and Dattatreya then takes a form of Parshuram. It's a thread which continues. In the form of Prajapati Marichi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead creates progeny, becoming the king. He kills the thieves and the rogues in the form of time. He annihilates everything. All the different qualities of material existence should be understood to be the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are different forms that he takes, and there are different qualities that are associated with that particular form. People in general are bewildered by the illusory energy, and therefore they try to find the absolute truth. The Supreme, through various types of research and philosophical speculation, nonetheless they are unable to see the Supreme Lord. People think that they know God. People think that they understand the divine. But that is the first problem which they face. Because, understand, the Supreme Divine Consciousness never works in the way that you think, simply because what comes in front of you is nothing but his divine potency. The potency is called Maya. Maya will cover you up and she will not allow you to see the divine Lord. Even if you try to go to the extent of doing philosophical research, see it is written over here, type of research and philosophical speculation. You can try to speculate, oh, is that how it is? Is that how it is? And you try to do your research. You know, how does the research happen? We always associate research with some speculative things. You see some great miracles happening and you think, oh, God is standing over there. And then you go over there and you find out, oh, this is not a miracle man. This is not a miracle happening. This is a man who is creating something. And then what happens? Then you associate that man with some vague activity. Now you will find that, in the last 100 years, every person who we think has become great was reduced to a very small person in less than a few years of time. Take for example, today, Jesus Christ, who came 2000 years ago. There are so many people who don't believe in Christ anymore. They say that he was just a human being. They say that there is nothing like this that has happened. Religions come into a picture which says, oh, he is just a common person, he is not a great person. He is one of the sages who has come in. So he is a sage. But when he was there, few people recognize that he was Christ. Christ is the supreme divine consciousness. It is the Father in heaven. But after he died, what has happened today? People in this world have completely, removed that thing from their mind. Oh, and then they have doubts. That is what is called Maya. Maya covers the entire world up. That is the reason why it is said, people in general are bewildered by the illusory energy. The illusory energy, remember, is called Maya. And therefore they try to find out the absolute truth. What is absolute truth? What is the truth? Oh, God, was he there? Is he there? It's like, those who want to find out if Sai Baba is really a person, or was he God, or was he some sage, or what exactly was he? Was he a Hindu? Was he a Muslim? What exactly is? So big questions after questions after questions. We don't know. Again, the question which everybody wants to know. Now, Guru is Guru also. Now his name, they call him Ajja. Now Ajja was a great soul. Suddenly out of the extraordinary, where he was staying, he shifted his residence to another place. And so the first place became empty. And then the second place was there. And then suddenly out of the blue, after he passed away, the Samadhi is built in another place. And then the first place has become empty. Now you will wonder why exactly this happens. Think about it. Think about it. Where Ramakrishna Paramahansa also was there. Ramakrishna Paramahansa stayed in Kali temple, that is Dakshineshwar, for many, many years. And suddenly, at the end of his life, he was shifted to main Calcutta. Okay. Now that place they shifted. And from that place, after he died over there, so the Samadhi was distributed, like, now you try to find out where exactly is he. So the question mark is, where is he? So where do you think he is? Is he in the place where he died? And people made another place which is called Belur Mutt. I don't know how many of you have visited Belur Mutt, but those who have visited Belur Mutt is the place where they started the Ramakrishna mission. Swami Vivekananda, Brahmananda and everybody started Ramakrishna mission. There they established a temple and they put some asthis over there. Asthis, And now that place is worshipped as his final resting place. But there are at least 4 people amongst us who have actually met Ramakrishna ji in Dakshineshwar. So is he in Dakshineshwar? Is he in Belur Math? Is he in that place? So coming back to Ajja's story. So where is Ajja? The question is very relevant. Is Ajja in the the neighboring compound, or is he in this compound, or is he over there in the mountain where he has done his tapasya, or then where is he? The answer is pretty simple. He is in your heart. Don't try to find him anywhere outside. That is called faith. The most important word in this is called faith. Don't try to find out these kind of things. It is only you are looking for the bottle. Do you get the point? I can make bits of bottle and throw them all over the town. What was inside has gone way back into the divine. And now you are also a part of that divine. So your bottle is open. Open means the cap is open. Remember this. If I put a closed bottle inside the sea with sea water in it, this cap is there, no? So the outside water is not going to go inside, right? Now if I remove the cap and I put this bottle into the sea, the outside water is the same as the one inside. A little recycling will happen inside or no? So keeping the cap open means keeping that faith, the faith inside of you. Understand? Believing in the truth is to open your mind to God, open your heart to God. So the water outside, which is the divine consciousness, is inside of you. But if you keep yourself bottled up, then you will never find the answers. So keep your cap open, have an open heart, receive the divine bliss or the grace that is there. So Ajja is everywhere. Ajja is inside of you. So you are also an amsh of him. So I hope Guru has found his answer. In one kalpa or in one Brahma, there take place the many changes called vikalpas. O king, all of these have been previously described to you by me. Learned scholars who know the past, present and the future have ascertained that in one day of Brahma there are 14 Manus. So we have come to the end of this chapter, the system of universal management. So we will move on to the next chapter, chapter 15. Bali Maharaj conquers the heavenly planets. Remember, we were during that churning of the ocean, isn't it? So we are now going back to the story after this little diversion. So Bali Maharaj conquers the heavenly planets. Bali Maharaj has been given a very special position by the Divine Lord. One of the hells. He has been made the king of one of the hell. Right? So now let us see. Maharaj Parikshit inquired. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the proprietor of everything. Why did he beg 3 paces of land from Bali Maharaj like a poor man? And when he got the gift for which he had begged, why did he nonetheless arrest Bali Maharaj? I am very much anxious to know the mystery of these contradictions. Now contradictions are a part and parcel of the, please understand this, there is always going to be contradictions in this spiritual world because it's never straight. It's never straight, okay? Like I was doing a small verse yesterday and the verse said that, I'll read the verse out to you so you will get an idea about it. The verse is very strange and it is from Bhagavad Gita chapter 12. Alright, so I'm just doing the verse, just see this verse is very strange. Knowledge is better than practice. Without discernment, meditation of God is superior to knowledge. And renunciation of the fruit of action is superior to meditation. For peace immediately follows renunciation. This is a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which is chapter 12, verse number 12. Alright, so what is Krishna telling Arjuna? He says, see, the lowest form is called practice. Practice means you are supposed to do your duty, isn't it? You are keeping on practicing something. What is better than practice? It's called knowledge. So just above practice is called knowledge. Meditation of God is superior to knowledge. That means you have practice, then you have knowledge, and then the next one is called meditation on God. Third one. Then the last one is above meditation on God is renouncing the fruit of action. So this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So what is the lowest in the order? The lowest in the order is your duty. Basically what we say as the job that you have come for, whatever you are doing, is called practice. Okay. Better than practice is called knowledge. Right? Better than knowledge is called meditation on God. And better than meditation on God is renouncing the fruit of action. It's such an innocuous verse, isn't it? It very simply tells you, God is saying in different verses, He says, see, if you cannot fix your mind on me, then you can do this. If you cannot do this, then you do this. Krishna is very nicely telling Arjuna, see, I can understand, you don't have your mind fixed on me. What to do? Your mind is always going here, hither and thither, no? Just now also if you are thinking of 10 different things going on around your surroundings, So he says, don't worry, it's okay. If you cannot do this, then you try this. So first, you do your duty. Alright? Sometimes it so happens that you have your family and everybody. So naturally you want to take holidays, you want to go here, you want to do this, you want to work for your family, you want to make your children, do good studies and something like that, all these kind of things. So then what happens, you fall down on your duty, right? So don't worry, it's okay, no problem. If you fall down on your duty, at least do some reading, some knowledge gathering, go to your guru, maybe he will give you some knowledge, correct? Okay. Now I understand that even you don't have time for your guru. No knowledge gets imparted because you have too many things to think of. Yes, of course, every day bills have to be paid, this has to be done, going to work in the morning to evening, coming back home. Where does a person find time? So Krishna says, oh, it's okay. I'll make more concessions to you. If you cannot find time for doing this kind of a thing, which is called knowledge gathering, then the next thing that you can do is you can meditate on me. Meditate on me means think about me. When you think about him means what? Oh, you keep on, you're doing some work, okay, in office. Your boss is yelling at you. Okay, you think Krishna. You think like that. When you have problem, you think of Krishna or some other god, okay? Or when your wife or your husband is hearing or doing something, oh my God, you keep on doing that, OMG, right? Or when you have certain trouble and you have to deliver certain things, at that time you think of God. So many a times, people think of God when they are in trouble, in distress. What Krishna is saying is, you have to think of me all the time. Meditate on me constantly. That is impossible, isn't it? You need time for reading your newspaper, to watch TV, to go for movies, drinks, or dinner, or go for holidays. You have so much things to do. So I'm sorry, I think I can understand you don't have time for that also. So it's okay, even if you don't meditate on me, at least do the last thing. The last thing is what? Last thing is don't bother about it. It's okay. You have to do only one last thing. See, 3 things he has eliminated. The last thing is what? He says very simply this, that you renounce the fruit of action. Don't think about, what is going to happen. Means what? Let us say we are gathering money for the children's studies. Okay. 16 years from now, when your child is going to be becoming big, he has to go to some college, maybe Harvard or something like that. So you have started saving money. Correct? Yeah, you are focused very well in this. You are saying that this money is meant only for my child's education. So that is called focusing on the end result. Right? Krishna says, see, now this is something you need to avoid. Don't focus on the end result. You know what he does? By the time it is 8 or 10 years, and maybe you have to pay an EMI or some big amount is due for somewhere, you will have to break that thing and then you have to pull the money from there and put it over there. Or maybe your child says, I'm not interested in studies, I want to become a rock star. Finished. Your money, you will wonder now, why did I collect the money for? And then it dawns on you, oh, the money is coming in use for my retirement. Okay, theek hai. Or you have gathered money for your daughter's marriage. Okay, or something. I mean, people gather. And they have all these kind of different things coming up. They will buy all sorts of gold and all kinds of things people gather for the marriage and all that. And the daughter says, Dad, I am not interested in marriage. I'm basically looking at making a career for myself. Okay. And marriage, don't think about it. I'm just going to the court and getting married. Then what is the point in having all that? So what do you do with all this gold and all these things that you have gathered over there? She says, I don't want your money. You keep it for yourself. How do you do? So now you understand. Don't bother about the end results, because any which way the end results are never going to be in your hands. So Krishna's fourth point is this. He says, see, renouncing the fruit of action is superior to meditation. Peace immediately follows renunciation. So Krishna has given 4 options. First you do, well and good. If you can't do first, go to the second. Second you do, well and good. If you don't do the second, go to the third. If you can't do the third, then go to the fourth. You got the point? This is somewhere in the middle of 12th chapter. By the time you come to the end of the 18th chapter, you know what he has done? He has put one bazooka against your head. Okay, over here. On this side, that side, every side, all sides he has put. He says, see, I gave you so many choices. What has happened? You are an idiot, pakka idiot. Think about it. In the first chapter, I told you, lift your bow and arrow and shoot. And you idiot, you don't want to shoot till the 18th chapter. So first chapter gaya, second chapter gaya, third chapter gaya. For 18th chapter tak tumko main simple baat bata raha hu. Lift your bow and arrow and shoot. And you don't want to do. Now I put a gun against your head. Teri maut nahi to uski maut. You understand the whole point? So finally Krishna says in a very, very somber tone, he says, see, whatever I told you, you don't want to do, no? Don't worry. My universe out there, my Prakriti is there. She will anyway make you do all these things. And then don't hold me responsible, because I'm not concerned. So then what he does? First, you better do your job. Okay? So point number 1, right? Doing your duty. सीधे उंगली से घी नहीं निकलता है तो लास्ट में वो यही बोलने वाला है, देखो तुम नहीं करेगा ना तो मेरी प्राकृति तुमको करने को लगाएगी. समझ में आया? So my prakriti is anyway going to make you do, so you better do your job. That is point number 1. So you have to do your duty, whether you like it or not. अच्छे से बोल के समझते नहीं हो तो तुमको तुम्हारा काम करना पड़ेगा. Can you now think about it? Were you ever able to get out of your duty? Think about it. As a son, as a daughter, as a mother, as a brother or sister or whoever, your duties are a must. If you are taking care of your mother, you have to take care. There are no options, sir. Okay. If you are taking care of your child, you have to take care. No options. Okay. So doing your duty is a must. That is point number 1. Tick. Now we come to point number 2. Knowledge. If you say, I am not interested in knowledge, you can't say those words. You want to grow in your life, isn't it? So you better have knowledge with you. Otherwise you will, wo clerk ka clerk hi rahega. So knowledge is important. From material worldly knowledge to spiritual knowledge. You should understand exactly how things are done. So knowledge also is a must. So second tick. Third one, meditate on me. किधर जाने वाला है तुम? Think about it. Where are you going to go? When you are in deep trouble, you are anyway going to say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. At the end of the day, you are going to call me only. So you better meditate on me. Dekho, meditate on me, everything will be fine. See, he said it very nicely, but now I am giving you the reverse of it. After the end of 18th chapter, what happens? And then he says, fruit of action. Sir, from which point of view do you think the fruit is in your hands? No way. So you better sit in front of me, better meditate on me, and tell me I am how good I am and all those things is better. So you say your prayers, be good to me. I'll do your final appraisal. See, end of the year, बॉस के सामने बैठ के अप्रेजल तो करना पड़ता है कि नहीं? तुम उसको कितना भी गाली देगा पूरा बरस में. End of the line, you have to go and sit in front of him only for appraisal. So he says, see, whether I have to give you promotion or demotion or increase in salary or whatever or no growth, that's in my hands. So think about it. So all four things are applicable to us. So very simply put, it is like this: whether you like it or not, we have to do our duty. Number one. Number two, we need to get educated, whether you like it or not. Education means knowledge gathering is a must. Even if you become old, you better gather knowledge. Correct? Number three, you are doing it all for me only. Okay? End of the world, who do you think you owe this to? Me only. It's my world. I have put the job in front of you. You better do it. So meditate on me. So I am the boss that you are working for. You don't have any other boss. No wife is your boss and no husband is your boss. Okay? I am the boss. And then the last thing is very simply, end of it, you don't know whether you're going to get it or no. So you better be nice to me, no? And don't focus on the end result. You be nice to me, and when you sit for appraisal, I will give you the option which body you can take. So now do you understand? This book, the Bhagavad Gita, is a straightforward book from one point of view. But it is the most distorted book of all. Why? Because we do not understand the truth written in those words. The words are written in a very distorted and a contorted manner. To know that, to know Krishna's mind is very difficult. So in one of the things which was mentioned, knowing God's mind, there is a book written. God's mind. To understand God's mind. It's not so easy. So we have to do our duty. We have to get educated. We should have been knowledgeable. Everything is a must. And we have to do this entire thing because it is being put in front of him by put in front of us by God. And we better be dedicated to the job only. We don't have any option on our end results. This is a very simple explanation of the Bhagavad Gita in simple words. So Arjuna, you don't have choices. You have to lift your bow and arrow and shoot. Any which way, the end result is already written by me. Got it? So we have to do our duties. So here also he is saying the same thing. So I hope you understand. I am very much anxious to know the mystery of these contradictions. Parikshit says, oh, I am also interested in knowing these contradictions. What is this Bali Maharaj, who was supposed to be a demon king? Okay. Now you go and crush his head also, put him under the earth, and then later on you give him some kingdom. What is this strange phenomenon? And you come like a bhikari in front of him. It's a story. But the story has true meaning. There is something in that. Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, when Bali Maharaj lost all the opulence and died in the fight, Shukracharya, a descendant of the Bhrigu Muni, brought him back to life. Because of this, the great soul Bali Maharaj became a disciple of Shukracharya and began to serve him with great faith, offering everything he had. Shukracharya is the guru of the demons. Alright? And he is from the descendant of Bhrigu. Alright? And remember, all the gods, all the demigods, they have drunk the Amrita. So they are alive. But the rest of these demons, all their bodies have been taken to Shukracharya. And Shukracharya has got a very mantra. And that is called Sanjeevani mantra. So all the demons are alive now, once again. So they don't die. So try killing a virus. You're not going to die. Okay? So don't even try. If you try killing a virus, you will kill yourself. So better live in harmony. बोला उसको कुछ खाने को मांगता है देने का, ठंडी नहीं देने का. So don't drink cold water. All right. So you should understand these are certain things. You have to live in harmony with these demons also. So coming back to this, the Brahmana descendant of Bhrigu was very pleased with Bali Maharaj, who desired to conquer the kingdom of Indra. Thereafter, after purifying him and properly bathing him according to regulatory principles, they engaged him in performing the yajna known as Vishwajit. When ghee or clarified butter was offered in the fire of sacrifice, there appeared from the fire a celestial chariot covered with gold and silk. There also appeared yellow horses like those of Indra, and a flag marked with a lion. So, what happens? Bali Maharaj is dead. He is revived by his guru, Shukracharya. Shukracharya, when he revives him, they perform a yajna. This yajna being performed, what happens after that? A chariot comes. The chariot is literally like the Indra's chariot, except that it has got a lion on top of it, on the flag. A gilded bow, 2 quivers of infallible arrows, and a celestial armor which also appeared. Bali Maharaj's grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj, offered Bali a garland of flowers that would never fade, and Shukracharya gave him a conch shell. When Bali Maharaj was thus performing the special ritualistic ceremony advised by the Brahmanas and had received by their grace the equipment for fighting, he circumambulated the Brahmanas and offered them obeisances. He also saluted Prahlad Maharaj and offered obeisance to him. Every now and then we have read in these books, a conch was given, Pondra, Panchajanya, all these kind of conches are there. What do you mean by the conch? Have you ever thought what is this conch all about? A conch is a very strange kind of a creature, I'm sure you know how it is shaped. You hold it and you blow in it. What exactly is this? Brito and I are doing a very beautiful, verse, actually, a beautiful theory, and that is about how the world was created by means of sound. It's a very interesting theory. Actually, it's not a theory, it's the truth. But for today's people, it is a theory. The vowels and the consonants are used. The vowels and the consonants are used. How the vowels and the consonants are used and how the creation of mankind happens is the way of determining how this entire world came into being. Remember, it is said in all our ancient texts, the world was born with the sound, the Omkara, Om, right? Correct? Likewise, in the Christian texts or in the Jewish books or in whichever book that you want to, all these are talking about the creation of the sound. The sound came first and then the entire world was created. So we are doing this very beautiful treatise on that. Now, furtherance to that, this particular line is telling you a conch was given. In our world, we have those whistles which are soundless. There is no actual audible sound is heard, yet the sound is heard by the dogs. You know about this kind of whistles? So you just blow in it and then the dog listens to it and he comes. It is called high frequency. It's a high frequency whistle. Now, the conch is relating to a particular type of a wavelength. So when you blow through the conch, there is a technique which is designed to blow through the conch and create that kind of a sound. Every conch shell is different, know that. Every conch shell is made in a different way. And this conch shell, when the sound comes out from the other end, it creates a certain frequency which only a certain type of beings in this world can hear. So there are certain sounds which are in your wavelength. That is why, if you recollect, there was this thing which I said, the bridge vibrates in the wavelength of the cars, if it vibrates on the same wavelength, the bridge will collapse. That is what I had told you. So the wavelengths are different. In the same way, this particular conch vibrates at a particular wavelength, which gives the command of that particular domain to that individual. To that, got it? And that is the reason why the conch shell is used even during the time of divorce. So when Arjuna blows his conch shell, his army members understand that it is our Lord, which is Arjuna, who is blowing the conch. Got it? So likewise, this conch shell creates a certain vibrations, and these vibrations are associated with certain number of people or things or whatever. Now you will say, what nonsense are you talking? You see, you have a particular instrument. It is operating at a certain wavelength, isn't it? We are connecting to the network. Or when you have the Wi-Fi, when you log into the Wi-Fi network, you have to put in the right password, then it connects to the Wi-Fi, isn't it? Same way, Zigbee devices. You need to have that Zigbee controller, whatever that is. It vibrates at that particular wavelength, then only it will give the right answer. So I hope you understand. So there are things, Internet of Things, IoT, vibrating at a certain wavelength, which you can understand, and then you can control them. Controller is there. With that controller, you can control all these IoT devices. Got it? So now I hope you understand how this conch also works. The conch is an important symbol for gathering that particular information in that particular wavelength and telling that particular thing what is needed. See, in America also, where there were Red Indian tribes, there were the smoke signals. So those are visible signals. And how will you know when Tarzan comes in? He does his sound, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, or something like that. So immediately you understand, Tarzan aa gaya. So you understood, no? So this conch shell is very, very important. When Maharaj Bali has thus performed the special ritualistic ceremony advised by the Brahmanas and had received by their grace the equipment for fighting, he circumambulated Brahmanas and offered them obeisance. He also saluted Prahlad Maharaj and offered obeisance to him. Then, after gathering up the chariot given by Shukracharya, Bali Maharaj, decorated with a nice garland, put protective armor on his body, equipped himself with a bow, and took up a sword and a quiver of arrows. And when he sat down in the seat, I think if we are not able to complete, we will stop at a particular place. Okay. Yeah. When he sat down on the seat in the chariot, his arms decorated with golden bangles and his ears with sapphire earrings, he shone like a worshipable fire. When he assembled with his own soldiers and the demonic chiefs, who were equal to him in strength, opulence, and beauty, they appeared as if they would swallow the sky and burn the directions with the vision. After thus gathering the demonic soldiers, Bali Maharaj departed from the opulent capital of Indra. Indeed, he seemed to make the entire surface of the world tremble. King Indra's city was full of pleasing orchards and gardens, such as the Nandana gardens. Because of the weight of the flowers, leaves, and fruits, the branches of the eternally existing trees were bending down. The gardens were visited by a pair of chirping birds and singing bees. The entire atmosphere was celestial. Beautiful women protected by the demigods sported in the gardens, which had lotus ponds full of swans, cranes, charvakas, and the ducks. The city was surrounded by trenches full of Ganga water known as Akash Ganga, by the high walls which were the color of fire. Upon the walls were parapets of fighting. We are just doing a description, so I'll complete it. I think. The door was made of solid gold plates and the gates were excellent marble. They were linked by various public roads. The entire city was constructed by Vishwakarma. The city was full of courtyards, wide roads, assembly houses, and not less than 100 million aeroplanes. See, we have cars and they have aeroplanes. The crossroads were made of pearl and there were sitting places made of diamonds and coral. Everlastingly beautiful and youthful women who were dressed with clean garments glittered in the city like fires with flames. They all possessed the quality of Sayama. Sayyam. Control. Basically, You don't go out of the way, looking at the girls over there like this, like this. No. They have the control over their own self. The breeze blowing in the streets of the city bore the fragrance of the flowers falling from the hair of the women from the demigods. Apsaras passed on the streets, which was covered with the white fragrant smoke of aguru incense emanating from windows with golden filigree. Golden filigree, very nicely decorated windows. The city was shaded by canopies decorated with pearls, and the domes of the palaces had flags of pearls and gold. The city was resounded with vibrations of peacocks, pigeons, and bees, and above the city flew aeroplanes full of beautiful women who constantly chanted auspicious songs that were very pleasing to the ears. The city was filled with the sounds of mridangas, conch shells, kettle drums, flutes, and well-tuned instruments, all playing in concert. There was constant dancing, and the Gandharvas sang. The combined beauty of Indrapuri defeated beauty personified. No one was sinful, envious, violent towards other living creatures. Cunning, living entities, cunning, falsely proud, lusty, or greedy could enter that city. The people who lived there were all devoid of their faults. Bali Maharaj, who was the commander of numberless soldiers, gathered his soldiers outside the abode of Indra and attacked it from all directions. He sounded the conch shells given him by the spiritual master Shukracharya, thus creating a fearful situation for the women protected by Indra. King Bali Maharaj, indefatigable endeavor and understanding his motive, King Indra along with other demigods approached his spiritual master Brahaspati and spoke as follows. My lord, our old enemy Bali Maharaj was now enthusiasm, and he has obtained such astonishing power that we think that perhaps we can resist his prowess. No one anywhere can counteract the military arrangement of Balis. It now appears that Bali is trying to drink up the entire universe with his mouth, lick up the 10 directions with his tongue, and raise fire in every direction with his eyes. Indeed, he has arisen like the annihilating fire known as Samvartaka. Kindly inform me what is the cause of Bali Maharaj's strength, endeavor, influence, and victory. How has he become so enthusiastic? So, Indra is asking his guru, what is this? Bali Maharaj has become so strong and powerful and he has come here. What is it that we are going to do now? Brahaspati, the spiritual master of the demigod, said, O Indra, I know the cause of your enemies becoming so powerful. The Brahmana, descendant of Bhrigu Muni, being pleased by Bali Maharaj, their disciples endowed him with extraordinary powers. Neither you nor your men can conquer the most powerful Bali. No one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can conquer him, for he is now equipped with the supreme spiritual power, which is called Brahma Tejas. As no one can stand before Yamraj, no one can stand before Bali Maharaj. So, Shukracharya, being pleased with his disciple, has imparted him that particular weapon or this particular way of life, wherein nobody can conquer Bali Maharaj. When the demigods had disappeared, Bali Maharaj, the son of Virochana, entered the heavenly kingdom, and from there he brought the 3 worlds under his control. The Brahmanas, descendant of Bhrigu, being very pleased with their disciple, who had conquered the entire universe, now engaged him in performing 100 Ashwamedh sacrifices. When Bali Maharaj performed these sacrifices, he gained a great reputation on all directions, throughout the 3 worlds. Thus he shone in his position like the brilliant moon in the sky. Because of the favor of the Brahmanas, the great soul Bali Maharaj, thinking himself very satisfied, became very opulent and prosperous and began to enjoy the kingdom. So we have come to the end of this chapter. It was only a descriptive type where you understood how Bali Maharaj becomes very, very strong and powerful. And now he has taken over the heavens as well. So all the 3 worlds he has taken over. Now Krishna has to take a form, which is the Vamana avatar, and come over there and subdue Bali Maharaj. Got it? And this is what we are going to do. So we have begun the story, so we will stop over here.